Alright, so here we have a basil plant, and I'm going to go ahead and put water in the soil of the plant. And since we're learning about the water cycle, I'm going to come back a couple hours later and see what happens to the water that I pour inside the soil. So right now I'll go ahead and pour some water into the soil. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and put a plastic bag over the plant and then leave the plant in sunlight for a couple of hours. And then when we come back, we're going to go ahead and see what happened to the water. Where does the water go? Alright, so I went ahead and put the plastic bag around the plant, and as you can see in the plastic bag, there are no water droplets on the bag. The water is all inside the pot, inside the soil. But we're gonna come back a couple hours later and see what happens to that water and where it ends up. Right, so it's been about 3 hours and it's very sunny outside, and as you can see, now the plastic bag has water all over it, and the question is, how did the water get to the plastic bag? So it's inside the bag, not on the outside. So how did the water get all over the plastic bag? Well, we learned about transpiration, and you learned that when you have water that goes in the soil, all of the water in the soil gets sucked up by the plant, and then the plant releases the water back into the air through its leaves. So as the water from the soil gets soaked up the plant, it is gonna evaporate out of the leaves because of the thermal energy transfer from the sun, and that is called transpiration. So this is showing you transpiration. So you see all of these water droplets. All of the water came from the soil, traveled up the plant, and came out of the plant's leaves. And if I had taken off the plastic bag, then all of this water would have ended up in our atmosphere again. So that's how water cycles from the soils back into our atmosphere. Plants soak it up from the earth, the soil, and then release it back into the atmosphere through their leaves. Alright, so I took the plastic bag off of the plant, and if you zoom into the leaf, there are water droplets on the leaf, and like we said, that water came from the soil, it traveled up the plant stem, and then it came out of their leaves. And then that water, when it evaporates off of the leaves, it's going to enter the atmosphere as water vapor. So that is how water cycles from the soil back into the atmosphere through the help of plants.